2 years from now, the world will not be the same, and neither will you. The only question is, will you be the same person you are today? Or will you have built a life that makes people ask, how did you do it? You see, 2026 isn't just another year. It's a deadline for your transformation. The first and most powerful step toward changing your life before 2026 is to rebuild your mindset completely. Because whether you notice it or not, the world is changing every second. Technology is evolving, jobs are shifting, economies are transforming, and opportunities are being born faster than ever before. Yet most people are still running on the same mindset they had 5 or 10 years ago. They keep thinking, deciding, and acting like it's still the same world out there. But it's not. And here's the truth. If you don't update your mindset, the world will do it for you, and it won't ask for permission. The only way to truly prepare for the future is to prepare your mind first. Think of your mindset as the software of your life. You can't run new programs on old software. If your thinking is outdated, your results will always be limited. The reason most people stay stuck is not because they lack opportunities, but because their belief system rejects new ones. They say things like, I'm not lucky, or I'm too old, or I don't have what it takes. These words may sound small, but they carry powerful chains. Every time you think like that, you're programming your brain to stay exactly where it is. Rebuilding your mindset means deleting old mental codes, fear, doubt, excuses, and replacing them with new ones: courage, curiosity, and consistency. It means waking up every day and reminding yourself that your limits are only as real as you allow them to be. We live in a time where external change is faster than internal change. Artificial intelligence is rewriting industries. Social media is reshaping attention. And global competition is rising like never before. But while the world upgrades, many people downgrade their dreams. They tell themselves it's too late, too hard, too risky. Yet the truth is, the ones who win in this era are not the ones with the most resources. They're the ones with the most resilient mindsets. Your mindset determines whether you see problems or possibilities. It's the filter through which you experience everything. The same storm that destroys one person can strengthen another, depending on how they think. That's why rebuilding your mindset is not optional anymore. It's essential for survival. The first shift in rebuilding your mindset is learning to see change as a friend, not a threat. Most people fear change because it feels uncertain. But uncertainty is where growth lies. Every successful person you admire has one thing in common. They were willing to walk into the unknown with faith, while everyone else waited for the right time. The right time never comes. It's created by action. If you want to change your life before 2026, start training your mind to embrace change instead of avoiding it. Say yes to challenges. Say yes to discomfort. Every time you step outside your comfort zone, your mindset expands a little more, and with it, your potential. The second shift is replacing victim thinking with ownership thinking. When something goes wrong, don't say, why did this happen to me? Ask, what can I learn from this? That one question alone can change the direction of your life. A weak mindset blames, complains, and waits. A strong mindset adapts, learns, and acts. Rebuilding your mindset means taking full responsibility for your growth. Even when life isn't fair, even when people doubt you, even when you don't feel ready. Because waiting for the world to make things easy is like waiting for the ocean to stop having waves. It will never happen. You must learn to surf the waves instead of running from them. That's what mental strength is, not the absence of difficulty, but the mastery of response. And finally, rebuilding your mindset means creating a new identity, one that matches the life you're trying to build. Most people want success, but they still think like their old selves. They want new results while keeping old habits. That doesn't work. Your mind must evolve before your life can. Start telling yourself new stories about who you are and what's possible for you. Say it until your brain believes it. Say it until your actions prove it. Visualization, journaling, positive routines. These aren't just motivational trends. They're the tools that rewire your brain for success. If you practice them daily, your subconscious mind will start attracting opportunities, people, and ideas that align with your new identity. When you rebuild your mindset, you stop reacting to life and start creating it. You stop seeing change as a threat and start using it as fuel. You stop waiting for motivation and start operating from discipline. The person you are today is built on yesterday's thinking, and the person you'll be in 2026 will be built on the thinking you practice today. So ask yourself right now, is your mindset built for survival or success? Are you letting the world shape your beliefs, or are you shaping them yourself? Because the world will keep changing, whether you're ready or not. The only question is, will your mindset be ready too? If there is one habit that will decide whether you succeed or struggle before 2026, it is this: make learning a daily, non-negotiable part of your life, not an occasional activity, not something you do when you feel like it. Daily, every single day, because knowledge has become the new currency. And in this age of rapid transformation, those who keep learning are the ones who keep earning, growing, and leading. The world is changing faster than any generation before us. What was valuable yesterday might be irrelevant tomorrow. But the one thing that will never lose its value is your ability to learn faster than others. Most people stop learning the day they leave school, and that's exactly why their growth stops too. They think education ends with a degree, but real learning begins after that. The classroom gives you information. Life gives you transformation. The truth is, the most successful people on the planet never stop being students. They learn from books, failures, mentors, conversations, and even silence. They turn every experience into a classroom. You can't control everything in life, but you can always control what you feed your mind. And if you're not feeding it new knowledge, the world will feed it fear, gossip, and distraction. To make learning a daily habit, you have to treat it like oxygen, something you cannot go a day without. Start small if you must. Read 10 pages of a book. Watch one meaningful lecture. Listen to a podcast that challenges your thinking instead of numbing it. The key is not how much you learn in a day, but how consistently you do it. Because consistency compounds. 10 minutes every day may seem small, but over time it becomes a superpower. Imagine learning something new every single day for the next 700 days before 2026. How unstoppable would you become? You would think differently, speak differently, and attract opportunities that your current self can't even recognize yet. But here's the catch: to learn effectively, you must unlearn. You must be willing to let go of old patterns, outdated beliefs, and false limitations. Many people fail not because they lack new knowledge, but because they're too attached to old knowledge. They keep repeating the same lessons and calling it experience. Real learning happens when you replace pride with curiosity. When you stop saying no and start asking, what can I learn from this? The smartest people aren't the ones with all the answers. They're the ones who are always searching for better questions. When you approach life with curiosity, every mistake becomes a teacher, every challenge becomes a lesson, and every person becomes a book waiting to be read. Learning isn't just about collecting facts, it's about transforming how you think. You see, most people learn what to think, they memorize, copy, and repeat. But the truly wise learn how to think. They question, analyze, and apply. That's the difference between information and intelligence. The internet has made knowledge free, but wisdom still costs time, focus, and humility. You can watch thousands of videos, but if you never apply what you learn, it's just entertainment dressed as education. Every time you learn something, act on it, try it, fail with it, experiment with it. The brain doesn't grow from knowing. It grows from doing. The most powerful shift happens when learning becomes part of your identity. When you stop saying, I have to study, and start saying, I am a learner, that identity changes everything. You begin to look at every situation through the eyes of growth. You stop complaining about problems and start extracting lessons from them. You stop comparing yourself with others and start competing with your past self. You realize that progress is not measured by how perfect you are, but by how much wiser you've become since yesterday. That's when learning stops being a task and becomes a lifestyle. Finally, never underestimate the environment you learn in. If your circle isn't challenging you, it's controlling you. Surround yourself with people who talk about ideas, not people. Be around those who inspire you to grow, not those who keep you small. Learn from people who've walked the path you want to take. Learn from their mistakes so you don't repeat them. Learn from their courage so you can borrow it when yours runs low. In this digital age, your teachers don't have to be in the same room. They can be on your phone, in your podcasts, in your books. There's no excuse left not to learn. Before 2026 arrives, make this promise to yourself: no day will pass without you learning something new. Because when you stop learning, you stop leading your own life. The more you learn, the more options you create. And when the world changes, as it always does, you'll not only survive, you'll rise above it. We are living in an era where the world no longer rewards hard work alone. It rewards smart work. And in today's world, smart work means digital work. The internet has completely reshaped how people live, learn, earn, and connect. The opportunities that once took decades to reach are now available at the tap of a finger. But here's the truth: many people ignore. The digital world doesn't wait for anyone. It moves fast, and those who don't move with it are left behind, confused, outdated, and replaceable. Before 2026, if you want to change your life forever, you must make one decision: to master digital skills and make technology your partner, not your problem. Once upon a time, owning land meant power. Then owning machines meant wealth. Today, owning digital skills means freedom. Your ability to create, market, communicate, and innovate online is the new measure of success. Yet many people still resist learning digital tools because they say, it's too complicated, or I'm not technical. But let me remind you, every expert was once a beginner. The people building online empires, creating content, running businesses, or coding apps were not born with these abilities. They learned them step by step. The only difference between them and everyone else is that they didn't let fear of technology stop them from adapting. In this digital age, every person has access to the same internet, but not everyone uses it the same way. Some scroll endlessly, others build endlessly. Some waste hours watching what others create, while others spend hours creating something others will watch. The digital divide isn't about access anymore. It's about awareness. Those who understand how to use technology to solve problems, communicate value, and build systems will always have the upper hand. You don't need a fancy degree to win anymore. You need skills that solve real problems in a digital world. Learning digital skills doesn't mean you have to become a computer scientist or a tech genius. It means developing the ability to leverage digital tools to achieve your goals. For some, that may mean learning how to design graphics, edit videos, or manage social media platforms. For others, it could mean understanding digital marketing, e-commerce, data analysis, or even artificial intelligence. The beauty of the internet is that it has leveled the playing field. Anyone from anywhere can learn anything, often for free. You can learn coding from YouTube, marketing from online courses, or business strategies from podcasts. The question is no longer can you learn, it's will you learn? By 2026, 90% of all careers will require at least a basic understanding of digital tools. Every business, big or small, needs people who understand how to operate online. Whether you're an artist, teacher, entrepreneur, or student, digital skills are no longer optional. They are the foundation of survival and success. Those who resist technology will find themselves watching opportunities slip away, while those who embrace it will find doors opening everywhere. The internet doesn't care about your age, background, or location. It only cares about your effort and creativity. That's why the next 2 years are so critical, because what you learn now will determine where you stand in the digital future. And remember this, digital skills don't just make you employable, they make you unstoppable. They give you the power to create your own destiny. When you learn to use digital tools, you don't have to wait for permission or depend on someone else's system. You can build your own platform, sell your own products, or promote your own ideas. You can turn your passion into profit and your creativity into cash flow. The world is full of people who complain about the economy, but the internet has quietly created millions of new economies, run by people who decided to learn instead of complain. Whether it's freelancing, dropshipping, content creation, or online consulting, the opportunities are infinite for those with the right digital mindset. So, where do you begin? Start with curiosity. Pick one digital skill and go deep. Don't try to master everything, master something. If you love design, learn Canva or Adobe. If you love communication, master copywriting, or digital marketing. If you're curious about data, explore Excel, Python, or AI tools. Every hour you invest in learning a digital skill is an hour invested in your freedom. Build, test, fail, and try again. The internet rewards creators, not spectators. Every mistake you make online teaches you something new. How to adapt, improve, and innovate. That's how real progress happens. And as you learn, remember this digital success isn't about replacing humanity. It's about amplifying it. Technology doesn't remove the human touch. It magnifies it. The more digital tools you master, the more time you free up for creativity, relationships, and personal growth. The key is to let technology work for you, not control you. Don't just use digital tools to consume. Use them to create, contribute, and connect. The people who understand this principle will lead the world by 2026. Before 2026 arrives, commit to this one mission, to become digitally fearless. Because the future won't wait for you to be ready. It belongs to those who are willing to learn, unlearn, and relearn faster than everyone else. And if you build your digital skills now, the next era of opportunity won't pass you by. It will belong to you. If the past few years have taught us anything, it's that depending on a single income source is one of the biggest risks in modern life. One job, one paycheck, one client, one business model. It all sounds secure until the world shifts overnight, and it will. The global economy, automation, AI, and digital disruption are rewriting the rules of survival. The people who thrive are not the ones who work the hardest. They are the ones who build systems that work for them. Before 2026, you must learn one of the most powerful lessons of the new world. Never rely on one stream of income when you can build many. Because one stream feeds you, but multiple streams free you. For decades, society trained people to think in straight lines. Go to school, get a job, work hard, and retire safely. But that system no longer guarantees stability. Jobs disappear, industries collapse, companies cut costs. What once felt like safety now feels like a trap. Yet while many people panic, a few individuals are quietly building financial freedom, not by luck, but by strategy. They understand that one income source is like standing on one leg. The moment life pushes you, you fall. But with multiple streams, you stand tall, balanced, and unshakable. Creating multiple incomes doesn't mean working 24 hours a day. It means working smarter. It means using your time, talents, and technology to build assets that pay you even when you sleep. Think about it. In this digital age, there are countless ways to earn. You can sell your knowledge online, start a side hustle, invest in stocks, build a digital product, or rent out something you own. The internet has democratized opportunity. It has turned creativity into currency. The problem isn't the lack of opportunities. It's the lack of awareness. Most people never open their minds to see that money can come from more than one direction. To build multiple streams of income, start with what you already know. Your skills, your experience, your story, all of these have value. The question is, how can you turn them into something others are willing to pay for? If you can teach, teach online. If you can write, publish content. If you can fix things, start a consulting service. The key is not to look for perfection. It's to look for progress. You don't need millions of followers or fancy tools to start. You need the courage to begin. Every great business, every side hustle, every online empire started with one person saying, "Let me try." The biggest obstacle isn't the market, it's the mindset. Many people are conditioned to believe that money can only come from a job. That's an outdated belief. In the 21st century, jobs are temporary, skills and systems are permanent. The people who create multiple income streams understand that their financial future should not depend on a single employer or a single paycheck. They think like creators, not employees. They build instead of waiting. They diversify their efforts so that if one stream slows down, another one picks up. It's not greed, it's wisdom. Because the more sources of income you create, the more stability you bring into your life. Think of your income like a tree. If it has one root, it's fragile. A single storm can tear it down. But if it has many roots, strong, deep, and spread out, it stands tall no matter the weather. That's how financial resilience works. Your first job or business may be one root, but your side projects, digital skills, and investments become additional ones. The more roots you grow, the more your financial future is protected. This mindset doesn't just change how you earn, it changes how you think about money. You stop chasing short-term income and start building long-term impact. Building multiple income streams also means mastering the art of leverage. Leverage your time, your knowledge, and your network. Leverage digital tools that can work for you 24/7. Social media platforms, automation systems, online stores, affiliate programs, and digital products. The beauty of technology is that it never sleeps. Once you set up a digital system, whether it's an online store, a blog, or a course, it can generate income while you focus on other things. That's not fantasy. That's how financial independence begins. The people who are free today didn't wait for the perfect time. They started when they had nothing but the will to learn. And remember, creating multiple incomes is not about greed. It's about freedom. Freedom from stress, freedom from fear. Freedom to choose how to spend your time and whom to spend it with. When your income doesn't depend on one boss, one job, or one market, you stop living in survival mode. You stop making desperate decisions. You start thinking long-term, acting boldly, and dreaming bigger. You no longer live paycheck to paycheck. You live purpose to purpose. That's the real reward of financial independence. So, as you prepare for 2026, don't just chase money. Build machines that create it. Use your creativity to earn. Use your knowledge to serve. Use your consistency to grow. The opportunities are endless for those who are willing to look beyond their limits. Remember this truth. The moment you stop depending on one income, you stop depending on anyone else for your destiny. And that is when your life truly begins to change. Failure, the word most people fear, but the experience every successful person honors. The truth is simple. If you want to change your life before 2026, you must build a new relationship with failure. Stop seeing it as a dead end and start seeing it as your most loyal teacher. Because failure never lies. It doesn't flatter your ego. It doesn't sugarcoat the truth. It shows you exactly who you are, what you lack, and what needs to change. In a world obsessed with perfection, failure is the only thing honest enough to make you grow. Most people spend their lives running from failure as if it's poison, when in reality, it's medicine. It's bitter, yes, but it heals. Think about how we all learned to walk. We fell hundreds of times before we took our first step. But back then, we didn't call it failure. We called it learning. Somewhere along the way, we forgot that truth. We became afraid to look foolish, to make mistakes, to be seen trying and not succeeding. That fear kills more dreams than failure ever could. The people who rise above the crowd are not those who never fail. They are those who never stop after failing. Every failure carries a message. Every rejection, every setback, every no is a coded lesson waiting to be understood. The problem is that most people quit before decoding it. When something goes wrong, they see the pain, but not the pattern. They see the loss, but not the lesson. They say, why did this happen to me? Instead of asking, what is this trying to teach me? Those two questions lead to completely different lives. One builds victims, the other builds victors. The moment you start seeing failure as feedback, you gain control of your growth. You no longer see life as something that happens to you, but as something that happens for you. By 2026, the people who will stand out are not those who avoided mistakes. They're the ones who mastered them. They understand that every failure refines them. Every disappointment trains them. Every defeat plants a seed for a bigger victory. When you start embracing failure, your confidence grows not because you avoid pain, but because you survive. You begin to realize that nothing is as bad as it seems, that life always gives second chances to those who refuse to quit. And the most powerful part, once you stop fearing failure, you stop fearing the future. You become unstoppable because there's nothing left to lose, only lessons left to learn. Look at the greatest creators, inventors, and dreamers throughout history. Every one of them faced failure, often publicly, painfully, and repeatedly. But they turned that pain into purpose. They didn't see failure as an ending, they saw it as training. When one idea collapsed, they built another. When one door closed, they built their own. That's the mindset you need before 2026, the mindset of resilience. Because the world is changing fast, and only those who can adapt quickly will thrive. Failure is not your enemy in this process, it's your fitness coach. It's building your mental muscle, your emotional endurance, your strategic intelligence. Every time you fail and rise again, your mind becomes stronger, sharper, and wiser. Here's something most people never understand. Success is built on top of failure, not in place of it. You don't climb to the top by skipping the hard parts. You climb because of them. Every failed business teaches you what the market needs. Every failed relationship teaches you what respect looks like. Every failed opportunity teaches you what preparation feels like. And every failed attempt teaches you something no book or video ever could: how to keep your faith alive when nothing seems to work. That's real education. That's the kind of strength no classroom can give. But to turn failure into a daily teacher, you must change your attitude toward it. Instead of hiding your failures, analyze them. Write down what went wrong, what you learned, and what you'll do differently next time. Make it a ritual. Reflection turns failure into fuel. Without reflection, failure is just pain. But with reflection, it becomes wisdom. The best learners in life are not those who read the most, but those who review the most. Their mistakes, their reactions, their choices. Every evening, ask yourself, what did I learn today? It may sound small, but that question alone can change your destiny. And remember, failure doesn't mean you're not good enough. It means you're brave enough to try. It means you're in motion, while others are frozen in fear. Most people never fail simply because they never begin. But if you're failing, it means you're fighting. It means you're out there, taking risks, testing limits, and stretching your potential. That's something to be proud of. The pain you feel now will eventually become your power. The story of your failure will one day become the testimony of your strength. So don't curse your failures. Thank them. Thank them for exposing your weak spots, because now you know what to fix. Thank them for humbling your ego, because now you can grow. Thank them for slowing you down, because now you can build stronger foundations. The truth is, failure doesn't destroy dreams, it develops them. The only real failure is refusing to learn. Before 2026 arrives, make failure your daily companion. Invite it into your process. Let it guide you, shape you, and polish you. Because when you learn to walk hand in hand with failure, life stops being frightening. It becomes fascinating. You stop dreading mistakes and start discovering meaning. And that right there is where transformation begins. If there's one factor that quietly shapes your destiny more than talent, money, or opportunity, it's the people you choose to surround yourself with. Human beings are social mirrors. We reflect the energy, habits, and ambitions of those around us. Whether you realize it or not, your environment is either pulling you forward or holding you back. And by 2026, your circle will be one of the clearest indicators of your success or stagnation. The rule is simple but powerful. If you want to grow, surround yourself with growth, not comfort. Most people don't fail because of a lack of potential. They fail because they stay too long in environments that keep them small. It's easy to stay with people who make you feel comfortable, who never question you, who celebrate mediocrity and call it peace. But comfort is a silent killer. It's warm, it's familiar, and it slowly puts your dreams to sleep. Growth, on the other hand, is uncomfortable. It challenges you, exposes your weaknesses, and forces you to face your limits. But that discomfort is where your evolution lies. If everyone around you agrees with you, praises you, and never pushes you, you're not surrounded by friends. You're surrounded by limits. Look closely at your circle. Do the people in your life push you to improve, or do they make excuses with you? Do they talk about ideas, goals, and progress, or gossip, complaints, and blame? Every conversation is either planting seeds or pulling out roots. The difference between successful people and average ones often comes down to the conversations they entertain daily. One group spends time discussing possibilities. The other spends time discussing people. The truth is harsh but liberating. You cannot build a millionaire mindset in a crowd that celebrates minimum effort. You cannot dream of building empires while hanging with those who fear stepping outside their comfort zones. If you want to transform before 2026, you need to audit your environment. Who are you learning from? Who are you listening to? Who are you becoming because of them? These are questions most people avoid because the answers can be painful. It's hard to accept that some friendships, while emotionally comforting, are mentally limiting. But personal growth sometimes requires emotional distance. You don't have to cut people off with anger. Just rise so high that the old connections naturally fade away. You owe it to your future self to protect your energy like it's gold, because it is. The people you spend time with will either amplify your energy or drain it completely. Surrounding yourself with growth doesn't mean finding perfect people. It means finding progressive ones. People who challenge you to think bigger, act braver, and live better. They don't let you settle for average. They call you out when you're lazy. They celebrate your wins, but they also remind you when you're capable of more. These people are rare, but once you find them, never let them go. And if you can't find them right now, build them. Join communities online. Read books written by great minds. Follow people who inspire and educate. In the digital era, proximity is no longer limited by geography. It's defined by intention. The mentors you need may be on a podcast, in a video, or in the pages of a book waiting to shape your mindset. The power of the right environment is immeasurable. When you spend time around motivated people, something shifts inside you. Their energy becomes your fuel. Their discipline becomes your standard. Their dreams remind you of your own potential. Growth is contagious, but so is stagnation. If you sit around dreamers, you'll start dreaming again. But if you sit around doubters, you'll start doubting yourself. Energy transfers, mindset spread, and habits multiply. That's why your circle is either your greatest investment or your biggest expense. Remember, the people you surround yourself with are like soil. Even the best seed cannot grow in poor soil. You could have all the talent, vision, and drive in the world, but if your environment is negative, toxic, or small-minded, your growth will always be limited. By 2026, you need to plant yourself in soil rich with positivity, ambition, and accountability. You need people who water your dreams, not those who step on them. You need conversations that stretch your thinking, not ones that shrink your confidence. And most importantly, you need to be that person for others too. Someone who inspires, uplifts, and empowers. Because leadership starts with example, not advice. Lastly, surrounding yourself with growth means becoming comfortable with being the smallest in the room. Many people avoid this because it hurts their ego. But if you're always the smartest person in your circle, you're in the wrong circle. You grow faster when you're surrounded by people who know more, do more, and expect more. They force you to rise, to adapt, to level up. Being around people better than you isn't intimidating. It's educational. Every conversation becomes a class. Every challenge becomes a test, and every success story becomes proof that you can do it too. As you look toward 2026, ask yourself one question. Who am I becoming because of the people around me? If your circle doesn't inspire that answer with excitement, it's time to upgrade it. Because your destiny is too important to be shaped by those who don't believe in growth. Surround yourself with people who remind you of where you can go, not where you've been. Build a circle that sees your potential, even when you forget it. And when you do, growth won't be something you chase. It will be something that happens naturally every single day. Before 2026 arrives, remember this, your mindset, your learning, your skills, your income, your failures, and your circle. All of these are under your control. Life will keep changing. Opportunities will come and go, and the world will test you in ways you cannot predict. But the difference between those who succeed and those who settle lies in the choices you make today. Will you stay the same, hoping for luck? Or will you rebuild your mindset, commit to learning, master digital skills, diversify your income, embrace failure as a teacher, and surround yourself with growth? The people who change their lives are not the ones who wait for the perfect moment. They are the ones who decide right now that nothing will stop them. They act while others hesitate. They learn while others scroll. They build while others complain. They rise while others remain comfortable. The journey will not be easy. Nothing worth achieving ever is. But every step you take toward growth compounds into unstoppable momentum. So, before 2026, make the decision to be extraordinary. Don't let fear, excuses, or comfort dictate your future. Invest in yourself like your life depends on it, because it does. Take control of your mindset, your skills, your income, your failures, and your environment. Step into the discomfort, embrace the challenges, and push past limits you once thought were unbreakable. 2 years from now, the world will have changed, but so can you. You can be stronger, wiser, and more prepared than you've ever been. You can be the person who inspires, achieves, and leaves a mark that others only dream of. The question is not whether the opportunity exists. It does. The question is whether you are ready to seize it. This is your moment. This is your time. Transform your habits, transform your thinking, and transform your life. Because the version of you in 2026 will be built entirely on the choices you make today.